This girl was poisoned by her mother, which made the lower half of the body completely paralyzed. She climbed through the window, rolled down the stairs, just to get rid of her mother's perverted love. Her name is Chloe. She's sick since small. Dermatosis, heart disease, diabetes, asthma. The lower half of the body was paralyzed. Although Chloe's health is poor. But her mother did not blame anything. Mother always measured blood sugar, injected insulin, even massaged Chloe's feet. She is not just Chloe's mother. She is also her doctor, nutritionist and teacher. To ensure her nutritional balance, she also dedicated a garden to grow vegetables. Chloe also loves her mother very much. Attentive care of mother makes her extremely happy. Chloe strives to perfect herself for college preparation, but the results were not as expected. Mother told Chloe she failed her exam. Anyone who sees the perfect living environment for the girl with disabilities would feel happy for Chloe. But one day, this piece is broken. One day, Chloe wanted to eat chocolate. So when the mother did not pay attention, she looked through the bag she had just bought. Inside there is a bottle of medicine labeled with the mother's name. Chloe thought she had something wrong. Who expected that night? She discovered this blue capsule. Appeared in medicine what needs to be taken. Chloe confusedly asked mother, "Your name is on the pill." Her mother said roundly for a while, and answered suspiciously. Chloe's doubts began to arise. To make it clear, she was going to find out what medicine she was taking. But mom only kept medicine where she couldn't reach. So Chloe made her own tools. It was very difficult to get a bottle. Finally she found out. Her drugs labels were all covered. Tore the labels off. And she saw mother's name. At that point, the suspicion was confirmed. Mother deliberately hid Chloe everything. She wanted to check it out. What medicine that was. Why does the mother want to hide? That night, she secretly turned on the computer to surf the internet. But she couldn't connect. In the dark corner at the end of the stairs, mother was staring at her. But Chloe did not give up. The next day, when mom was in the garden, Chloe called a pharmacy store. But the other recognized the number. Chloe was afraid she was caught. So she hung up. Then, she dialed a hotline. The other said if connecting successfully, she would have to pay next month. To avoid revealing traces, Chloe had to call a strange number to ask for help. She also watched mother. Finally, the stranger helped her out. This drug is called trigoxin, for treating heart diseases. But the capsule shell must be red, while her pill is blue. Finally she found out. The medicine mother gave was not a medicine for heart. To clarify the truth, one day, Chloe told her mom that she wanted to go to the movies. In the theater, she used the excuse to buy snacks. To run to the pharmacy. The pharmacist's answer made her dumbfounded. It turns out this blue capsule is not medicine for humans to drink. It's for dogs. If drinking it, humans' body would be paralyzed. Eventually, Chloe was stunned. She nearly fainted. At that moment, her mother came. She injected her with sedative, then looked at her. Her eyes were filled with love in a creepy way. She took her home. This is a girl poisoned by her mother, paralyzing her lower body. After knowing that she had been poisoned, Chloe immediately wanted to run away from her mother's perverted love. But after waking up, Chloe found herself locked in the room. The more Chloe thought, the more scared she became. Terror kept her from wanting to stay here for another minute. She took out the soldering pen. Take a gulp of water in mouth. Then he struggled to climb through the window, because the lower half of the body was paralyzed. So a few meter long distance, forcing Chloe to use up her full strength. Finally Chloe crawled to the window of another room. She heated up the soldering pen. Press against the glass. Not long after the glass started to crack, Chloe spat out the water in her mouth. Hot and cold. The glass door broke right away. She lined the cloth on the broken glass, then climbed inside. At that moment, asthma recurred. She hurried back to her room, removed the pickaxe blocking the door, got in the room, She continued to crawl toward the head of the bed. At the time the disease actually started to recur. Finally she got the medicine. Then Chloe sat in a wheelchair, in front of the stairs, but the machine didn't work. Turning around Chloe discovered, Mom had cut off the power. Chloe had no time to think. Why is Mother so rude? Why did she want to lock her up? Chloe just wanted to hurry and escape. So she took up the courage to push the wheelchair down. Then rolled down the stairs. She got downstairs. Her body was injured. But she accidentally found out. Her toes could move. It turned out that the lower half of her body still had some senses. This made Chloe even more confident. She had to get out of here. She sat in a wheelchair and ran out of the house. Regardless of danger, she blocked the delivery vehicle. Then prayed for help from delivery staff. She told him everything. Seeing the serious situation, he decided to help her. At that time, Chloe's mother appeared. She saw the delivery clerk pushing her daughter behind the car. She asked him to give her daughter back, but he told all of what Chloe said. The mother both comforted and threatened. Force greater than, but the delivery staff firmly refused to let go of Chloe. She had to give up. Seeing that, he lifted Chloe into the car, prepared to take her to the police station. At that moment, the mother suddenly appeared behind. Inject anesthetic into his neck. The delivery man fainted. Then, the mother brought both Chloe and him home. She locked her daughter in the cellar. Killed the delivery man. This girl was poisoned by her mother, making the lower half of her body paralyzed. The person trying to help her was also killed. Currently she was locked in a dark cellar. Chloe realized that hope was gone. Looking at the cold dark cellar, she felt even more scared and desperate. But then she discovered an even more myth. Chloe found admission notice in the garbage in the basement. It turned out she was received long ago. It's just Mom throwing it in the trash, which ended her hopes of going to college. Chloe got angry. She didn't understand why her mother wanted to paralyze her. Also find ways to lock her in the house. Then she discovered a green box. Inside were pictures of her childhood. She tore the piece of paper, and found out in surprise. It turned out that when she was a child she could walk. She continued to search the box. Found a death note. On it was the name of another child. The time of death was 2 hours after birth. Chloe found the article from 17 years ago. About a stolen baby. It turned out 17 years ago, Chloe's mother bore prematurely. But the baby only lived in a glass cage, and passed away after 2 hours. She buried the pain in the bottom of her heart, and transferred all love to Chloe, the stolen child. Probably due to fear of losing the child again, she made Chloe take a lot of medicine since she was a child. That made her body weak. Even a half-person paralysis. The purpose is to keep her. She used this very perverted way to relieve the pain of losing that child. She is completely crazy. Then knowing everything, Chloe cried in despair. She could not accept this fact. At that moment, Mother came in. She saw things on the ground, and knew her secrets were revealed. She begged Chloe for forgiveness, and not to leave her, but Chloe refused. She could not accept the way of poisoning as protection of the woman. She got paralysis due to drugs. How can she forgive her? Seeing that the girl refused, she didn't use the flexible way anymore. She pumped the black liquid into the cylinder. Chloe felt even more scared. She couldn't imagine what was going to happen. In the end, she found a pot of insecticide. After a hesitation, Chloe poured into her mouth. When she woke up, she was already in the hospital bed. Chloe had just had intestinal cleansing. She could not talk. She begged the nurse. The nurse took the pen and paper, but she has not finished writing yet. When there has been a critical patient notification, the nurse quickly left the room for emergency. Chloe was extremely impatient. Heart rate, blood pressure increased rapidly, then suddenly returned to 0. It turned out that the mother came in. She pulled everything out of her daughter, then secretly took her away. Seeing herself about to fall into the hands of the devil, Chloe wanted to call for help, but the body could not move, and the throat cannot speak, which made her not a chance. The surrounding people also did not find anything unusual, until the nurse came back. Seeing the text on the notebook, The nurse felt something wrong. The nurse hurriedly reported to the guard block. In front of the elevator, the wheelchair suddenly could not move anymore. It turned out that Chloe was using her little wheel left to keep her feet on the ground. At that moment, the guard also came running. The panicked mother was about to open fire. Greater than, but she was shot in the shoulder. She rolled down the stairs. As Chloe used to. Chloe is finally rescued. In the blink of an eye. It was 7 years later. She went to the hospital room in prison to visit mother. Chloe, married, had children. Her face was filled with happiness when she told mother about the past few years. Soon time was up to visit. Before leaving, Chloe spat out the blue capsules from her mouth. This is the drug that once made her paralyzed. Chloe did not smile anymore. Looked at the mother with cold eyes. She said, "Open your mouth wide."